Tyson Fury is the most dominant heavyweight of our era, the man who single-handedly brought down the Klitschko era, the man who beat the hardest puncher in the heavyweight division 3 times. 2 if you don't count the draw, which is kinda BS, but whatever. Tyson Fury is a once-in-a-generation talent. Here is why there will never be another boxer like Tyson Fury. One of the reasons why Tyson Fury is such a cheat code in boxing is simply his physicality. To the untrained eye, you see a guy that basically has a belly and pretty much has a dad bod. Like, Tyson Fury has gotten in some quite lean shape sometimes, but he's always been on the chubby side. Some people will look at this and think that he's not gifted genetically for boxing. However, this could not be further from the truth. One big reason for why Tyson Fury is such a great heavyweight is his height. Standing at 6'9", that's a long way to punch up, especially if you're around the average height of a heavyweight boxer, which is like 6'3" in the 6'4" range. It's a long way to punch up. But it's not just the fact that he's tall, it's the fact that his arms are so freaking long. His wingspan is even bigger than his height. His reach is 7'1". That essentially means he can jab you when you're not even close to being in a range where you can attack him. You know, we saw this exploited in fights against Chisora, Dillian Whyte and shorter heavyweights where they literally just couldn't get in a range where they could fight back. That insane 7'1" reach really does make it insanely hard for you to actually hit him. Another reason why Tyson Fury is insanely gifted for boxing is the way that his height is distributed. Now, it's actually more advantageous to have longer legs and a shorter torso in boxing. The reason is, having a higher center of gravity makes it more conducive to punching and resisting punching, but also it makes you more effective at clinching. You can essentially lean on the opponent and they really do have to bear the brunt of your weight, and it saps their energy. One great example of a boxer that utilizes this is Vladimir Klitschko. If you look at a lot of his later fights, he really does rely on leaning on his opponent and sapping away their energy, making them more and more depleted as the fight goes on, just trying to get this giant mass off your body and just holding it up really does count. And Tyson Fury does this too. If you look at a lot of his fights, he does lean on his opponents during these clinches, and it really fatigues the hell out of you. So having this build where he's got this high center of gravity and he leans on top of you, man, that is so tiring as you're being exposed to this over the course of 12 rounds. That is, if you don't get knocked out before then. His hand-to-eye coordination is also phenomenal. The way he moves and is just so accurate with his punches is just unbelievable. Like, he's such a slick mover if he wants to be, and that's the key phrase. If he wants to be. Tyson Fury is extremely versatile in what he can bring to the table. Now, we've seen in like the fights against Deontay Wilder, basically bullies him with this pressure forward strategy, and that works insanely well. On the other hand, he can fight on the outside and be a slick jabber and win via that route. He is insanely good at both pressure fighting and counterpunching. So if you're going up against Tyson Fury, you really can't rely on the guy having one mode of operating. There are quite a lot of fighters that are good and had some good results, but they were only known for one style of fighting. You cannot say that for Tyson Fury, where you would look at Mayweather and just think, okay, well, he's obviously going to counterpunch me, so I need to learn how to box against a counterpuncher if I want any chance of beating him. On the other hand, if a boxer was to go up against Tyson Fury, man, they're kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place, because to learn how to fight against Tyson Fury, what are you fighting against? Are you fighting against a pressure fighter or a counterpuncher? It could be both, depending on what mood Tyson Fury is in. Best way of demonstrating this against the highest level of competitors was against Klitschko, where he was doing this really awkward point-scoring, counter-punching style, dismantle Klitschko at his own game. And on the other hand, we saw Tyson Fury fight against Deontay Wilder and outpower and bully Deontay Wilder, which is his own game. Like, no matter what you're good at, he can probably beat you at your own game. That's tough. That is a tough thing to fight against. I don't think any boxer can figure out how to solve the puzzle of Tyson Fury, because no matter what you bring to the table, he's probably going to have an answer for it and more, and is excellent in wildly different fighting styles. So a lot of casuals that don't know about boxing will look at Tyson Fury and just see, oh well, he's got a belly, so he's probably just really skilled. No, the guy is a genetic freak in boxing. Just because he doesn't have abs does not mean that he's not a genetic freak in boxing. The guy has so many attributes in his favor to make him an insane boxer. He is the perfect build for heavyweight boxing. And yes, although he does carry quite a lot of body weight, he uses that to his advantage with the leaning over strategy that I spoke about. So although being fat by itself isn't necessarily an advantage, it actually becomes an advantage if you use it the way Tyson Fury does. Now, he's obviously not over fat like Andy Ruiz is, where he's actually gone way past the point of diminishing returns, and because he's short, he can't really lean on top of a guy like Anthony Joshua. But Tyson Fury can, he can lean on top of you. So until someone proves me wrong, whether that be Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, which I don't think a fourth fight is going to happen, or Usyk, I think the only guy that has a shot of making a competitive fight with Tyson Fury is going to be Usyk. If he beats Usyk, I don't want there to be any more debate. Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight of this era. Full stop. If he beats Usyk, there's no more question about it. We could be looking at a once-in-a-lifetime talent in heavyweight boxing. There's a good chance we won't see a boxer like Tyson Fury again.